All right, I just had to play with this for a minute to kind of figure it out, but here. So if you go to, when you're in the 3D view, if you go to dimensions, you can turn on and off overall dimensions. Okay, and so that way you can see here's 70, here's 30, basically, and here's 30. So you can kind of see. So now we've got that in the structure. So the real question is, okay, how did I do that? So if you look at these parameters, this height, cell length, cell width, and shelf 2, these are the kind of the main numbers you're playing with. And so the whole idea, I think, behind the structure was never to get the overall dimensions to a certain way. It was like, how big do you want these certain cells to be? And if you'll see, they carry over. So these are global variables. The same cell H is exactly the same cell H. So any of these tabs we change it in, see it's 22, it's 22, it's just carrying over to every single tab. So let's kind of go back and show how that one adjusts. So if we take 22 and let's make it 11, we'll cut it in half. All right. So now we go back and we look at our 3D. Let's refresh. And the whole thing gets a lot shorter. So that's the distance, I think, between these shelves is that number, okay? Or I believe it is. So let's take it back. Make it, actually, we can do this easier in a minute. Okay. And then same thing. So we'll go back to this 3D, we refresh. And now we're bigger, like we see. Okay. So let's go and the cell L, let's just divide it by 2 for the moment. Divide by 2. Okay. So let's go look at our 3D. Refresh. Okay, see that sucked this width way in. Okay, so that's the width here that we're talking about. So let's get rid of that. And this cell W, let's divide it by 2. So we go 3D, two things are going to happen. It's going to get wider, but then one of these two areas on the side is going to get shorter. So let's refresh it. Okay, so this part back here got shorter. And then, so the other one is this tray. So let's go adjust it. Shelf 2. And we're going to divide this one by 2. Okay. Go back to the 3D. Refresh it. And see, now this part got shorter. So those are really the main 4 parameters other than the shelves itself. But then at least you can see once it's assembled, you know, what is the overall dimensions. And so if we go, let's just go remove those divided by 2s off of here. That one. And 7. Back to our 3D. Refresh. And there you go. So if you want the, you know, the back not as big and this one bigger or vice versa, you could tweak those 2 parameters, this, you know, shelf 2 and cell W. So really, I think if you play in this area and it's on most of the tabs, this is going to get you to the you know, where you want to be, and then you have to decide whether you want another shelf. But like I said, I think that the purpose behind this display was how big do you want those boxes, and then how many boxes do you want, and then you'll end up with some sort of overall height and width. We were just trying to work backwards at it instead of the way I think it was designed. But anyway, we got there. Now you can kind of use these numbers to figure it out. Cool.